Hello everybody, it's me, your host, James the Food Man, and of course we are here live on location. We're not really live, you'll see this tomorrow, but we're here on location at the restaurant. And I'm going to show you guys, for the last video of our culinary skills series, how to clean a beef tenderloin. Why? Well, because these are awesome to grill up in the summer, and it's only the end of July. We still have all of August coming at you. So, if you like this video, remember to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to start with removing this membrane. And really, you can just rip at it. Okay, you can get most of it off just by ripping. There's a couple spots you are going to have to use a knife. I recommend a boning knife for this. And get yourself a container. We keep this stuff up. We put it in with our beef stocks when we roast off our bones. Okay, so again, just kind of work your way through it with your fingers a bit, break up any membrane bits. And you have to ask yourself what you're doing with this. If you are going to grill this whole, I advise leaving this fat on here where this was attached to the ribs, because when you grill it, this is going to melt down and it's going to give you more flavor. If you're going to steak it off, take it off. And that's what this one's going in to be grilled. The other one of my pans is going to be staked off. So, the other thing you have to do after you get that membrane out of the way is this silver skin. This has to go. What'll happen with the silver skin is that, and there's still a little more membrane on it, but we can see it, so that's the important part. What happens with the silver skin is once you get heat into it, it gets very elasticy. It's like trying to chew through rubber. So you just want to, you know, I like to go in the middle. I don't know why. I know lots of people like to start at the bottom, and I like to go in the middle. So take your knife, and I always angle it up. And I try to get in all the way across. Because you want to try and leave as much meat on here as possible. Okay, so we're just going to keep on working it. Okay, so we basically got most of the body cleaned off. I mean, now the membrane isn't as bad as the silver skin. If you miss bits of membrane, it's not going to be necessarily that tough for you to chew through. But if you miss the silver skin, it's going to make those pieces incredibly difficult to chew through the edge. Okay, this is the same process also if you're going to do a pork tenderloin. They're just a little smaller. Up here we have a mix of fat, silver skin, and membrane. So we're just going to take all of this off of the head. Right, it's going to open us up into here. And if you're going to roast this whole, then you want really to try and get it as clean as you can without opening it up, because if you start butterflying in here to spread it open, then you're going to make it more uneven when you grill it. So there's always a trade-off with what you're going to do. Okay, and so if there is any fat here, this is more of an undesirable fat, unlike the fat I told you at the beginning on the back here. If I did, I don't know, this is like my second take. So this stuff, if you're going to leave it on, I would leave it on if you're going to grill it whole. And it'll just melt out. It'll help melt out and melt in when you're grilling. Because the tenderloin doesn't have a lot of fat, but the stuff in here, it's got too much membrane and silver skin mixed in with it. that this is the stuff I would just take out. I mean, if you want to put it into a pot, fry it up real quick, and then you can get a little broth out of it. You might have to top it up with some beef soup base or something, just to make it a little more flavorful. But you can get the start to a quick stock with this if you wanted. So really, it's just important to just keep attacking all the white spots you see here that are the silver skin. Try and leave as much meat on this as you can. So something like this costs, like, say $80. They're close to, say, $8 a pound. So if you're gonna remove half a pound, you've literally just thrown $4 in the trash. So you got to be careful with what you're doing. Just make sure you go over the whole thing. Just look at it. It's the stuff around the head that's the trickiest. Good quality knives will make this an easier job too. At the restaurant we have rented knives. So that is basically as clean as it needs to be. Anything else in here is just gonna fall apart too much. Well, maybe this piece here. If I try and get anything else like that's in here, it's just gonna fall apart too much. When we grill these, we just keep this wrapped up tight, and once you sear it, it kind of holds its shape. Again, we have another one here. Same idea. Exact same thing. So basically, if you don't want to rip the membrane off first and go for it first, you don't have to. You can come under with your knife. All right. Sometimes there's a seam here. Yeah, this one has it. Okay, and there's actually a different muscle here. If you're gonna, depends what you're doing with it. This one I'm staking off for myself for the restaurant here. So we're gonna cut it up into portions. I don't really like this seam on here. It tends to fall off, and it's hard to get the fat off the inside. But there's nothing. This is this is really good eating. So we just clean those up separately, and we grill them off. Have a little snack. So with this fat, you can almost just rip it off. Because I'm going to steak this one up for filet mignon, I don't really want it there. Takes away from the cleanness of a piece of filet. Because this is going to be staked off, I can be a little more aggressive for going in between the in between seams and stuff. Okay, now that it's almost all done. Alright, so now that it's basically done, I'm not going to steak this up yet, because I still have about seven orders in the fridge or so, and it lasts longer if you don't cut it up, because what happens when you start cutting it up in the steaks is you get more surface area, and that promotes rot. So I won't really need this till tomorrow, but I'm shooting the video today. So, but when I steak it up, I'm gonna get my scale out. We go for 8-ounce portions. So the tail here is really thin. I can't get a portion here. So what I would do is I would cut it about here, half cut this so I can butterfly it. And on our menu we have 8-ounce medallions, which is 2 4-ounce pieces, and we have an 8-ounce fillet, which is an 8-ounce center cut. So basically I would get my first piece of a medallion, and then I would get a fillet, and probably a fillet, and a fillet, and a fillet, maybe a fillet, and then my other medallion with a little bit of trim. And you'll notice when you go to a restaurant, if a lot of places wrap these in bacon when they serve them as fillets, and the reason is because see how nasty, when you have these center sections, you literally get a very clean centerpiece, right? When you have these sections here that look like almost like an elephant ear or something, that's why they wrap them in bacon, because when they cut this off, they roll it up tight, and then they do their bacon wrap, and that's what keeps the look of a center cut when you're out at the end. Alright guys, that was today's video on how to clean a beef tenderloin. We'll see you next week, and until then, stay hungry, my friends.